It's time for movie reviews for December. However, I already did 2 Christmas movie reviews last month, so that's out the window. But hey, I can't please everything. But I am going to do 3 movie reviews, and heads up, none of these are Christmas movies. So for this video, I'm going to pick a movie that came out the same year as A Christmas Story, though the release date is weird in between. I'm going with Scarface. Okay, this movie is not a request, and the reason why I'm picking this one is because my brother loves this movie, and I promised him to choose that for the video. And yeah, it's an R-rated movie. I haven't done one of these since Once Upon a Time in Hollywood review I did a couple years ago. So yeah, I'm kinda skeptical to talk about this since it's very mature. Let's begin. Tony Montana, played by Al Pacino, is a Cuban refugee who becomes a powerful drug lord. Okay, yeah, I need to stop the plot because that's Tony's goal in the movie. I still like the story, even though I don't want to go into full details of the plot, other than he's powerful. Yeah, it's that kind of movie. When the movie came out back in 1983, the reception was actually negative, which some movies did that before, like Psycho, The Shining, and Fight Club. And yeah, I get why Scarface was negatively reception because it's super intense violence, drug usage, and a lot of profanity. Oh yeah, R-rated films was at the top of the roof. It almost got an X rating. However, Scarface has gained a cult following over the years, merely with the quote, "Say hello to my little friend," and even critics repraised it, even being one of the greatest gangster films. With that aside, this film is awesome. Ignore how extremely violent it is and profanity. I still like how the film is structured. Taking place in Miami and seeing the portraying the Cubans as criminals, it's pretty insane. But of course, Tony Montana is the main in the movie. This guy wants that goal. Yes, he does the typical fighting crime, but that's what he does. Even in one scene where he refuses to attack the car because there's women and children inside. Al Pacino is fantastic as Tony Montana, and while Pacino already did a gangster film 10 years prior, playing Michael Corleone in the Godfather movies, but he's acted wonderfully. I don't think Montana is in my top 10 favorite characters, but man, he's just fantastic. I even like there's other characters interact with Montana, like his right-hand man Manny, a mentor Frank Lopez, his mother, his sister Gina, Frank's right-hand man Omar, an officer named Bernstein, a drug lord named Sosa, and even the wife, Elvira. All these characters are pretty good. And I will say, Elvira did grow on me later on. I didn't like her character sense, but after a while, she was more than that aggressive towards Tony, which I like her now. It was a good idea to pick Michelle Pfeiffer for the role, in which this was her start as a breakthrough career, in which I love her role as Catwoman in Batman Returns. I won't say too much about the effects since it's all about shooting and I can't get demonetized of the video, but it's still cool at the time. I do want to mention briefly about the soundtrack, and yeah, my favorite music in the movie is Push It to the Limit. I love listening to it over and over again. But yeah, great soundtrack for the movie. Also, this movie is not original. It's actually a loose remake of the 1932 movie of the same name. And while I haven't seen the old Scarface film, I can guarantee that the original won't top the remake. The remake stands out because it's more memorable and grounded in reality. But yeah, with that maturity aside, I still love Scarface. Yeah, the movie doesn't reach in my top 20 favorite films, but I still think it's great. If you're not into gangster or drugs or intense films, I don't think this film is for you. But I have to include this movie in my favorite movies video in the future. That is all for the review. Happy 40th anniversary, which, yeah, I didn't mention in the video, but you already knew. More movie reviews on the way for the month. I will see you all for next week.